On this all-new episode of Primetime Panthers, Katie Engleson sits down with Jonah Gadjovich to talk about his recent extension with the Cats.
You know, I just show up every day and I try to be a good teammate and, you know, try to work as hard as I can and then improve. And, you know, the staff that's here, you know, allows me to do that.
And we relived number 12's day with the Stanley Cup from this past summer.
Some of my core memories, you know, made at these rinks here in Iroquois. You know, it's so special to be able to bring the cup back with my family and my squirmy little daughter here.
Plus, a look back at the thrilling shootout win against the Dallas Stars.
Marchand races in onto Smith, flying into the zone, and he scores! Oh yeah!
All of that and more this week on Primetime Panthers. Primetime Panthers is presented by Bright Star Credit Union.
Welcome into this all-new episode of Primetime Panthers. I'm your host, Katie Engleson. So far this season, we have highlighted so many players who have made the commitment to stay in South Florida. Most recently, forward Jonah Gadjovich signed a 2-year extension with the Cats, and I recently had the opportunity to sit down with him to talk about his decision. Well, Jonah, your journey is one of perseverance. As you reflect on your time in the league to get to this point and just playing hockey as a little kid, what's the most gratifying part for you?
Oh man, just I think the whole journey of it, right? You know, you play minor hockey and, you know, you're just a kid having fun out there playing with your friends, and, you know, you get a chance to play junior hockey and you just kind of enjoy that ride, and you get to a point where you start thinking maybe pro hockey is might be an option for you, and you grind it out in the minors and get a chance in the NHL, and, you know, that was kind of my path, and I've just tried to enjoy every second of it, and, you know, it definitely hasn't been an easy road, and, you know, you sacrifice a lot, and, you know, it takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, as cliche as it is. But I love playing hockey, and I love playing hockey here for this team.
Yeah, you mentioned your love for the Florida Panthers. You've been able to find a home here. You signed a 2-year contract extension. Why do you think you've been able to find a home with the Florida Panthers?
I don't know. I mean, you know, if they want to keep me around, I'll stay as long as I'm welcome here. But, you know, I just show up every day and I try to be a good teammate and, you know, try to work as hard as I can and then improve. And, you know, the staff that's here, you know, allows me to do that. They're always working with me. I'm doing video with the coaches, or, you know, in the gym with the strength guys, or, you know, whatever it may be. I'm looking for ways to improve, and they're also, like, you know, want to help us improve. And, you know, they do that for every single guy that comes through here, no matter if it's your first year in the league or 10th year in the league. You know, everyone gets treated the same, and I think that's why I love it so much here.
What can you say of the culture of this team?
It's incredible, you know, like I said, just the way that everyone gets treated, you know, top to bottom, and, you know, it's fun being on a team where everyone cares about each other, and, you know, it's really just such a family atmosphere down there, and, you know, it's great. It's fun to come to the rink every day. Guys are always, you know, making fun of each other and, you know, doing things together, team dinners, you know, team events, and, you know, I think that is important for, you know, for a team where you spend so much time together. So it's, you know, it's fun to be part of this group.
Paul Maurice has emphasized how your role is not necessarily the easiest. You have to go out there every night and stick up for your teammates. How much pride do you take in that role?
Yeah, no, a lot, for sure. I just try to do my job. I know what's expected of me, and, you know, I've said it before, I just, you know, I want to be that guy that, you know, teammates know that I have their back no matter what happens. And, you know, there's a lot of guys, you know, every guy in that room will do it. Every guy will get in there. You know, you see a lot of scrums in our games a lot of times because, you know, we just stick together out there. And, you know, this group has had obviously a lot of success winning games, and, you know, I think it takes everybody, and, you know, everyone's on the same page, and, you know, like I said, everyone sticks up for each other. So I'm just, you know, one guy that does that as well.
How would you describe your relationship with Paul Maurice?
It's good, you know, I think it's good. I'd like to hear from his side too, you know. But no, he's been so good to me such an incredible coach. You know, obviously, you know, there's so many times where he'll be talking to us on the bench in the middle of the game, telling us something to look for, something that's going to happen, and next thing you know, exactly what he said happens on the ice. And you know, he just knows the game so well. He's so well respected around the league, and you know, that's the hockey side of it. But as a person, like, you know, he's always around the room down there asking about guys' families. You know, he just genuinely cares about his players, and as a coach, that's pretty incredible.
You mentioned the family side of things. Your wife Allison, you have 2 adorable young twins. What has this opportunity meant for them, and what is it like getting to share this experience with them?
Oh, it's everything, you know, to get to share it with them, for sure. You know, they're my whole world. You know, I love being a hockey player. Being a husband and a father is by far the best thing that I'll do with my life. So, you know, for me, it's coming home, having the little ones run and hug me. It's the best part of my day every day. And, you know, a wife that has been all around North America for me, traveling, you know, living in different cities away from her family and friends, and just always supporting me. It's incredible. And I've found a partner that I get to, you know, share my life with, and for our family, this is where we want to be and raise our kids for a few more years.
Time for our first break here on Primetime Panthers. Coming up next, we head to Ontario, Canada, to relive Jonah's day with the Stanley Cup from this past summer.
You know, I'm just a kid from Whitby that had a lot of fun and come across a lot of amazing people that helped me get here. So maybe one day inspire the next generation.
Keep it locked. Primetime Panthers on Scripps Sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Primetime Panthers. Jonah Gadjovich plays a huge role with the Cats and was certainly rewarded for it with his recent extension. Let's head north of the border to Ontario, Canada, where Jonah had the chance to celebrate with the Stanley Cup this past summer.
There she is. Oh, I grew up playing here since I was like 6 years old. There it is. You know, all these rinks, this ice complex. There's a gym up there that I used to train at, so just this place is just special. You know, lots of amazing memories here, so super excited to bring it here today. I played all the way up my whole minor hockey career, so I played for Whitby, and we had awesome teams. Like, some of my best friends to this day are, you know, kids I grew up playing with since I was so small. Watsy, what's up, man? How are you?
Thank you for having us.
Of course, of course. Thanks for coming out, guys. Some of my core memories, you know, made at these rinks here in Iroquois, and you know, it's so special to be able to bring the cup back with my family and my squirmy little daughter here.
Back in 2012, I taught him grade 8.
Mr. Cerrone.
How's it going? Well
Good.
done, well done.
Oh, good to see you. Oh man, I love the shirt.
You like the shirt, eh?
That's hilarious.
He was always a good kid, respectful, polite, and he played volleyball, basketball, high jump. He did it all.
Oh, that's him right there. Tallest kid in the class, right there, center. Grade 6 boy, determined, dedicated, and inspirational. And he signed that for me today. His parents came to me and they said that at the time he was still just playing house league hockey. He wasn't playing rep hockey yet, but if he did well in school that year in math and in language, that he would be able to play rep. And he worked his tail off, and he did it, and he got to play rep, and then here he is today.
Greer slides it across, score! Gadjovich makes it 3-0 Florida.
I never saw a kid who worked harder, like when he was younger. Like, came in, most respectful. He's always been that big game player for us growing up. I know, like, when he played in Whitby, he's always that go-to guy and always scored big goals, and you're like, didn't surprise you. Like, you got to give him some playing time and you'll see he'll produce for you.
I'm gonna get you out there. I want you 3 guys on the ice for the last shift. So you throw your off when we win this, because we're down 2-0 against Toronto, and you got us here. You get the last shift.
It doesn't surprise me. And then you saw the clip from on TikTok about how said he deserved it. Like, yeah, you know, as a coach, I 100% understand that, because like I feel like the same way growing up. Like, nothing's changed the way coaches feel about him, I guess, from when he was 12 years old to now in the pros. Everyone coaches the exact same feeling for him.
Hey, How are you?
Good, you?
Good, good. How you guys doing? I'm going into my 8th year pro. You know, there's definitely hasn't been all Stanley Cups. It's been a lot of grinding it out and a lot of hard times and ups and downs. You know, they happen, right? And you know, I think if I could tell my younger self to just enjoy every second of it, that'd probably be the one thing I'd say. I'll be sure to follow along with you, okay? Yeah. Keep an eye out.
The most important thing is that it brings it back to the kids, and that's what it's all about. It's about the kids moving forward. And he was a kid back then. I'm sure he saw some of his players that he idolized, and now he's doing the same thing.
I get to keep this? Let's go. I love sharing it with all the kids and, you know, the people of this community that I grew up in, and maybe one day inspire the next generation. You know, I'm just a kid from Whitby that had a lot of fun and come across a lot of amazing people that helped me get here. So, you know, if I can pay it forward in any way I can, I'd love to do that today.
Time for a short break here on Primetime Panthers. Coming up next, Jonah reflects on one of the biggest moments of his career.
You know, I might not show up on the score sheet a lot of nights, but I found the back of the net that night, and obviously growing up in Toronto, so I had a lot of my family and friends at the game, and you know, it's funny to think, like, I don't know, I would have never expected to score a goal in Game 7.
Come on back with us. Primetime Panthers on Scripps Sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Primetime Panthers. The Florida Panthers have made an incredible commitment to keep the core group together. As a result, a lot of these players have had the opportunity to see the growth of hockey in South Florida up close and personal. We return to our conversation with Jonah and Katie.
What makes South Florida such a great hockey community? How have you seen the sport and just the Florida Panthers grow in South Florida?
I mean, since I've been here, it's obviously you know, been so incredible. You know, you see the winning culture that this team has had, and a lot of the guys are very active in the community, and you know, we get a lot of outreach as well. You know, people messaging me, just, you know, being out and about in the city or on the beach. You know, maybe people will recognize me and, you know, get to have good chats with them. They're always so friendly and, you know, big hockey fans. And, you know, I've had a lot of local people tell me about how much the game has grown down here since they were younger. And, you know, so I love to hear that. You know, I love to be part of something like this that's just, you know, got the community excited, and, you know, you get to meet a lot of really nice people, you know, being part of it as well.
Seth Jones for Greer, kicked away, rebounds, in front, scores! Jonah Gadjovich, 3-0 Panthers.
I want you to take us back to Game 7 of the second round series against Toronto. You were one of the goal scorers in that Game 7. What was that moment like for you, especially considering the year before and you didn't play any games? What was that like?
It was so cool. You know, I just tried to stay ready, you know, waiting for an opportunity, because, you know, if I got called on, I wanted to be ready to go and step in and do my job, and that's all I tried to do every game. And you know, I might not show up on the score sheet a lot of nights, but I found the back of the net that night, and that was really cool. You know, on my first Game 7, and obviously growing up in Toronto, so I had a lot of my family and friends at the game, and you know, it's funny to think, like, I don't know, I would have never expected to score a goal in Game 7, but it was really cool to have you know, so many people in attendance, and obviously to win the game was the most important thing. And you know, I had a lot of friends and family that were super happy that we won the game and that I scored, but I think they were pretty sour about the outcome for their team. But again, just such a cool experience.
Given that it was against Toronto and you're from a suburb, Whitby.
Yeah.
Just what is the significance of that moment? Did you grow up a Leafs fan? What was that like?
Yeah, as a kid, I rooted for the Leafs for sure. You know, went to a couple games. You know, I always think one of the funniest things was, you know, I used to go when they made playoffs. I think they lost to Boston in Game 7 or something. But I was in Maple Leaf Square, had a Leafs jersey with all my friends, and you know, James Reimer was in net for the Leafs, and I was a huge fan of his, and I ended up playing with him and being really close with him for my time in San Jose. So, you know, he's incredible. But, you know, just being like a fan of the game as well and a fan of the Leafs, it's cool to, you know, then go and be on that ice and be out there. Like, it's kind of, I guess, something that I didn't really think would be possible as a kid. I always dreamt of it, but like, you know, the fact that it became a reality is so cool. And, you know, I hope that, you know, for other kids, you know, in Whitby or wherever and anywhere in the world, that, you know, they can watch the game that they love, and, you know, if they pursue it and, you know, work hard and, you know, get some lucky bounces, then, you know, maybe they'll be out there too. It's cool.
Awesome. Well, Jonah, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Time for one final break here on Primetime Panthers. Coming up next, we relive the thrilling shootout win against the Dallas Stars.
Here comes Mikko Rantanen. In on Bobrovsky. Let's go home, baby! It hit the post, it stays out, and the Panthers win it!
Primetime Panthers on Script Sports. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Primetime Panthers. Before the Florida Panthers headed out west, they looked to finish the road trip strong as they hosted the Dallas Stars.
Paul Maurice often said adversity makes you grow, and the Florida Panthers will look to grow and improve as they welcome the Dallas Stars to town today.
The opening faceoff, and we are underway. It's in the slot, knocked down, Marchand denied, DeSmith is down, Mikkola shoots, blocked away in front. They're still looking for it. You saw Brad Marchand, good to have him back in the lineup.
Marchand returned home to Halifax, Nova Scotia to attend the funeral of Sela McCollum, the daughter of his close friend and longtime trainer JP. Sela passed away after a courageous battle with cancer, and while he was there, he filled in behind the bench for JP's U18 team so JP could be with his family during this difficult time. Marchand told me Sela touched more lives in her 10 years than most people could do in 1,000.
Great matchup here. Rantanen cross ice, Lundell picks it off. Here comes Losterinen up ahead for Brad Marchand with a chance, he scores! Back in the lineup and back on the score sheet. Marchand with the finish for his team leading 6th of the year. And Reinhart loves it.
After your goal, you pointed up to the sky. I know it's been an emotional week for you. What were you thinking about in that moment?
Yeah, it was a really, really tough week, and that's a special one to get for Sela. She lived life to the fullest, and you know, walking away from the week, it have such a new perspective on life and what it all means and how precious it is and how precious time is, and you know, to carry on her memory. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna live every day to the fullest, enjoy it, and we're not gonna take it for granted.
Rodriguez on the loose puck, turns and shoots and hit the post, and then Verhaeghe just missed wide, and then Reinhart scores! Reinhart extends the goal streak, and that's 300 for him in his career.
Look at Rodriguez, just whips it towards the goal. There's the deflection off the goal post. Verhaeghe whips it wide, and then Reinhart on an almost impossible angle. Look at that, where that puck is going. Just inches, and it goes off to Smith and in the net.
Steele the other way, centers, Johnston scores, and Dallas is on the board.
The Dallas Stars come back the other way in a perfect passing play.
Lundell hit by Marchand, Dallas able to work it free, out in front, they score again! Deflected in by Ritskovian, and this game is tied at 2.
Perfectly timed as the puck goes towards the net, and there's the deflection.
His first career goal. They get 2 in 14 seconds. Marchand with the big hit on Johnston. Losterinen for Bennett, for Samoskevich over to Forsling. In front, bouncing puck, score! Sam Bennett got it for the Panther lead.
The backhander over the goal line for the go-ahead goal. Second of the season for Sam Bennett.
Stars are on the loose puck. Steele in front, deflected, and they score. Oh, what a setup, and Rantanen has tied the game. The Florida Panthers will go to overtime. Sergei Bobrovsky putting on a clinic in overtime. We're going to a shootout. Oh, the crowd is alive now. Brad Marchand in the shootout. The 37-year-old trying to give the 37-year-old Bobrovsky a chance to win it. Marchand races in onto Smith, flying into the zone, and he scores! Oh, yeah!
He is just unbelievable. Look at the patience, the move.
Here comes Mikko Rantanen. In on Bobrovsky. Let's go home, baby! It hit the post, it stays out, and the Panthers win it!
You know, these are memories when you go through tough times, you kind of look back on and see they bring a little bit of, you know, a little bit of light in the dark moments and, you know, put a smile on our faces.
What a win against the Dallas Stars. This past Saturday also represented an important day to the organization, Panther Conservation Night. Throughout the game, fans were able to stop by tables to learn about the endangered mammal and some of the non-profit organizations helping to support the cause. The team also featured exclusive Panther conservation jerseys for the event, as well as a photography exhibit featuring photos taken by conservation photographer and National Geographic explorer Carlton Ward Jr. A wonderful event each year to help shed light on one of the most endangered mammals on planet Earth. For more information on this beautiful animal and the conservation efforts surrounding it, please visit panthersfoundation.org.
That does it for this episode of Primetime Panthers. Make sure to tune in next week for exclusive content from the Panthers road trip to California. We'll see you next week right here on Script Sports.
Primetime Panthers is presented by Bright Star Credit Union.